Well, today I'll be talking about more songs that I like from bands that I dislike. I did do a video on this topic, I want to say around 3 years ago or so. So yeah, if you haven't seen that first video where I talked about songs that I like from bands that I dislike, definitely make sure to check out that video after this video right here. I'll leave a link in the description, but yeah, I figured I might as well go ahead and get around to doing a sequel to that video. And yeah, just like the last video, I will be doing just 5 songs here, but this will be in no particular order. But the first song I do want to talk about is Superstar by Saliva, which I believe was in one of the soundtracks for one of the Fast and the Furious movies. I think it was the first one, but I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the first one. But yeah, Superstar, one of the few songs that I actually like from this band. But yeah, I do like a lot of nu metal, but this is one of the bands from that era or from that genre that I'm just like I think is one of the more terrible bands in the genre. Crazy Town being another one, Union Underground, another one that comes to mind. But Saliva, never could get into this band, but Superstar, I think, is one of the few songs I think is actually decent from them. I'll admit I do like Click Click Boom and Your Disease. After Me is another song I like from them, but yeah, Superstar, I mean, yeah, nothing too deep going on here, obviously, but I think it's, at the end of the day, a fairly catchy, fun nu metal song from the early 2000s. I mean, maybe not a song that I reach for very often by any means, but still, I think a decent nu metal song. But yeah, with Saliva, I mean, I think Josie Scott's not that great of a vocalist, especially when he goes into his more nasally singing. I'm just not a big fan of that at all. His more rapping side of his vocals, I don't mind, but I also wouldn't say great either. But yeah, Superstar, a decent song in my opinion. But let's go ahead and move on to the next song on this list, and that song is Push by Matchbox 20. Matchbox 20, I mean, a bit too soft for me, and some of the big hits, for me, are just nails on a chalkboard. I mean, I'm not a big fan of First 3 AM, I must be lonely. Terrible. And I'm not a big fan of Unwell, if I got the song title right, and some of their other stuff, but Push, I think, is the one song I think is actually somewhat decent from them. I mean, this was a song that I recently heard again, like sometime earlier this year, and I remember thinking, you know what, this song is actually not bad. I think it's actually kind of decent. But yeah, the thing with Matchbox 20 is that I just can never get into Rob Thomas's vocals or his style. But Push, again, a decent song to me. But moving on to the next song, we're going into something a bit heavier, moving into the world of death metal with Lycanthropy by 6 Feet Under. So yeah, not a big fan of Chris Barnes and his vocals. So yeah, which is part of why I could never get into Cannibal Corpse or again, also 6 Feet Under. And I've heard some other 6 Feet Under songs. I've heard even some of their horrible covers. I mean, I know they've covered AC/DC, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, and some other bands, and especially some of the Judas Priest stuff that I've heard from them, or Judas Priest covers, Iron Maiden 2, is just awful. Especially that horrible cover of Stranger in a Strange Land. I'm just like, wow, this is horrible. But they let that go to the public for some reason. But anyways, back to Lycanthropy. This was from their first album, Haunted, and this is one of the 2 songs that I like from them. The Enemy Inside is another song that I think is decent from them. But with Lycanthropy, I think it has a nice groove to it. Definitely has some Obituary vibes, which you can definitely thank Alan West for that, if I got the name right, who also played with Obituary, of course. But yeah, Lycanthropy, a decent 90s death metal song in my opinion. Not bad. But moving to the next song on this list, we'll be moving back to the world of nu metal, and yeah, Solitaire Unraveling by Mushroomhead. I tried to get into this band a couple times, 2 or 3 times, and I just think they're terrible. But Solitaire Unraveling, not bad. I mean, yeah, I like the more growly vocals, and I also do like the more clean vocals in this song. I mean, I wouldn't call the clean vocals great, but for what they're going for in this song, I actually don't mind the clean vocals again. But yeah, I've checked out some of their other stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, this is just, yeah, again, definitely a reminder of that. Yeah, Slipknot's obviously the better band, and there's a reason why Slipknot's obviously more successful. I mean, when it comes to Mushroom Head, I mean, I like Sun Doesn't Rise. I think that's another decent single from them. Before I Die is another song I like from them, but yeah. Try to get into these guys a couple times, and yeah, just never could get into them. Honestly, I think they're honestly kind of terrible. Especially some of them, the more earlier stuff from like those first, I don't know, first couple albums or something. I'm just like, wow. Yeah, definitely not for me. Definitely prefer Slipknot, which I'm sure many people do, but Solitaire Unraveling, again, not a bad song. I think a solid track from Mushroom Head, but moving into the last song for this video, we'll be moving to, honestly, I'd maybe say maybe one of the worst bands of all time. I mean, I think they're even worse than Nickelback, and that band is Theory of a Dead Man with their song Drown. Drown is the one song that I think is decent from them. I remember one of my coworkers mentioning this song to me, and they're not a fan of this band either, but they say they like this song, and yeah, I decided to check this song out like sometime earlier this year, and I thought it was actually decent. Yeah, definitely, you can maybe say typical 2000s, 2010s radio rock, but still a decent song. I do remember enjoying the guitar work. I did check out this song a little bit before I started doing this video, and yeah, still, I think it's actually a decent song from them. But yeah, some of their big hits, like of course the obvious one, Bad Girlfriend, I think are just terrible. I mean, this more butt rock side of post-grunge, not really my thing. Yeah, Buckcherry is another one, just awful. But yeah, Fear of a Dead Man, terrible band in my opinion, but Drown, actually an okay song from them in my opinion. But yeah, those are 5 songs that I like from bands that I dislike. Let me know your thoughts on my picks here. Do you like any of these songs? Do you like any of these bands? And if you like any of these bands, more power to you. Definitely nothing wrong with that. I'm definitely okay with you enjoying these bands. But yeah, at the end of the day, these bands are, of course, not for me. But anyways, let me know songs that you like from bands that you dislike. And of course, let me know in the comment section below and all the good stuff. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and a like, subscribe. Have a nice day, and of course, take care, guys.